Hello, hello, hello. Once again, we are here today on the Ted and Monica Show, WFTB 104.1 FM, Tabernacle Gospel Radio, y'all. We are so excited to be in the place one more time. For all the listeners that are out there listening today, y'all, we have a great topic tonight. Monica, you got anything you want to say to the people before we get off into this great discussion with this beautiful young lady we have today?
Just want to say hello, happy Monday. I hope everybody had a great weekend. Hope you had a great Sunday service. We sure did.
Yes,
and
was
then
amazing.
Just, back to work on today, traveling grace and mercy and all those good things. So welcome to the show on today.
Yes, we're excited to have you all once again. And like I say, y'all, God has been blessing us to bring in some great guests, great people. And this young lady that I'm about to introduce y'all, I'm calling her young, but she could be my older sister. And that's about what she could be. Because I've been knowing this young lady for about, now she just told me 40 years. I thought it was 30-something years, but it's actually 40 years. And we have literally been good friends. We never, I do consider her as a sister in my life because she's been through our ups and downs. We've been through her ups and downs. I've seen her children grow. She's seen my children grow. And it's like I say, y'all, it's just so amazing to be able to bring her to the actual show today and talk to her about this interesting topic. But before we get into it, y'all, I want her to introduce herself. I want to give her little resume, tell us a little bit about herself. And Gloria Sanders, I'm so excited to have you today. Give the people a little resume on your life and what you do and what you've been doing and children, anything you want to just throw out there and let us know about Gloria Sanders.
Okay, thank you so much. I am honored to actually be able to have this opportunity to spend time with this beautiful couple. Truly, I've known them since I was 17. So they were just a little bit younger and dating with their mom. And it is true. We have been with each other through dating, through marriage, through children. And it's just been an awesome experience. And I am so proud of both of you all. The way that you all have stuck with Christ and the way that you all have raised your children. So it's an opportunity to be able to spend time with you all.
Amazing. Yes.
So to tell you a little bit about myself, I am Gloria Denise Sanders. I'm from West Tennessee, Brownsville, Tennessee. I graduated from Lipscomb University. And I was a pharmaceutical sales rep for 17 and a half years. I worked for Meharry Medical College for 12 and a half years. And now I'm at the wonderful Tennessee State University and have been there a total of 9 months.
Total of 9 months. Okay. Do you want us to tell us about your children? I know they are some great people. Tell us about those kids that you got in the fold or in the house now right now.
Yes, I have two beautiful young adults, wannabe young adults. Emmanuel Sanders, he's my son. He's my oldest child. He is married to Fanalise, and they have a daughter named Javante. And my daughter is Aaliyah, and she has two beautiful cats, Apollo and Ocean.
I know one of them, your son, he's a culinary. He went to school for culinary, correct?
Yes, and he enjoys cooking. Both of my children actually enjoy cooking. But the funny thing about Emmanuel is growing up as a child, he could eat you out of house and home. And he could clean a chicken bone better than anyone where it would whistle. And now he's a vegan. So, yes, so we've seen the transition. And he can prepare any type of meal, vegan, steak, vegetarian. He can prepare it all.
Wow.
And my daughter is an excellent cook as well. And she's more on the sweet side as far as baking.
Okay, I didn't know she was a baker.
Yes,
girl.
yes.
Listen, I'm going to have to get with Emmanuel on some of those vegan dishes, baby. You going to call him? No, I'm messing with you over there.
Then you gonna give up some meat?
Yeah.
Your steak.
No, I ain't going to give him no steak.
Yeah, I ain't think
Not
so.
right now. Not right now.
Gotta have that red piece of meat.
There you go. But just like I said, y'all, excited about tonight, y'all. We are coming tonight to talk about a couple of things tonight. Gloria, what do you do for TSU right now?
I am in philanthropy, so I travel and raise money for the institution. Our job is to advance the institution both academically and financially.
So basically, and to make that in simpler terms, you are the person that goes out and gets resources from the alumni and bring it into the colleges to help the colleges be able to go forth and be what they should be going into this new era with our new president. So, what's some of the things or some of the things that you had to approach, or some of the harder things that you've been dealing with being in the HBCU college and trying to get these resources from the alumni? Have you had any hardships with this thing, or just give us a little dialogue about what's actually goes on with that?
Okay, so let me take it back to the beginning of my time starting in philanthropy. It was actually with Meharry Medical College.
Okay.
It almost was a natural transition in that aspect that I was a pharmaceutical sales rep for 17 and a half years. So I was very much comfortable with healthcare. So being able to speak the language, to understand the physician's dentist's flight, I did understand that. So the goal of philanthropy is to be able to actually help fulfill a donor's wishes that will align with the mission of an institution. So you have a collaboration between the two, the donor and the institution, to fulfill, and oftentimes it's priorities of the institution.
Okay. So what priorities have you actually had to fulfill, with each one of these colleges? I mean, I went to college, but I didn't graduate from TSU. And I think about now what I heard about what's going on with TSU over the news is that they're in need of money right now to actually be, successful in their endeavors right now. So has that been something that you're helping with, or, I mean, what are some of the things that you've been dealing with that issue, or just trying to help out with that area?
Okay, and so I will put this out here. As they say, I'm not a physician, nor do I play one on TV. As far as me speaking on this aspect, I'm speaking for myself, from my personal experiences that I've had with both HBCUs. So I'm not speaking for Tennessee State University. However, some of the challenges, or like to call them areas of opportunities to improve on with HBCUs and really universities as a whole. Alumni, oftentimes, when they graduate, the relationship is not continued. And what we have found within both institutions, you cannot wait until a person graduates. You really should start engaging and talking with them about how to support the institution when they come through the doors. They need to understand the value and the importance of giving back.
Okay.
Now, we understand that value most time when it comes to the church. But how do you expect the institution to advance if you're not putting in the resources? And so one of the main questions that is asked when we're fundraising with corporations and foundation, what's your alumni participation rate? So if your alumni are not supporting the institution, why should you expect someone else to support the institution? So that's why alumni engagement, cultivation, support is so critical, and they all tie in together. We need alumni to know, for any institution, how important they really are and the value of their support.
Okay.
So, Claire, I got a quick question. So, I did attend TSU, and I did attend and graduate from Trevecca University. So, when you say alumni, it's not foreign to me, because when my son went to the University of Memphis, they asked us to donate, and so we did. And they're still continuing to contact us, even though he has graduated. So, I guess I'm piggybacking onto, because Trevecca is always sending me things. But my thing was, I attended the college. Yes, everything, I guess it was good. But my other part is they didn't really help me find a job. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So I'm like, well, why should I give y'all some money? Y'all really didn't help me. I mean, I went to school, I paid for my tuition, I paid for my books, but you want me to get back to you. But I had a hard time get into my field. And so that's my thing is, first, really didn't know about it until they started sending me these things in the mail, telling me, you're alumni, can you donate? I'm like, what, really, why? But then when my son went to school, just because he went there, we wanted to support the school, and we've done a little bit, the last couple of years, but I don't know if I'm going to continue,
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people are not educated as
That's it
to
right there.
why they should contribute back to their school.
And so I will say this. So I graduated from Lipscomb University. I don't think there's a month or 2 or 3 months that I don't receive some type of information from Lipscomb. And as I tell people, Lipscomb was good for me and was good to me. Were there some challenges? Of course there were. Lipscomb has come a long way, and there's still a lot of things that we do need to improve on. However, the cultivation, the engagement was critical. And that is one thing that I could appreciate. So when I left my first career of pharmaceutical sales and entered into philanthropy, one of the areas that I found out from alumni, we haven't heard from the school, or we don't know what's going on. So that's part of what institutional advancement and the university as a whole, that's part of our job, is to re-engage our students and our alumni, to bring them to a point where we can collaborate and partner with them. It's not always about an ask. You can be a mentor. You can come to the institution and speak with the students. You may own your own company. You can offer internships. Mm-hmm. So going back to your point of you didn't feel that you had the support that you needed after you graduated. Those are some areas that we need to work on, whether it's Trevecca, whether it's Lipscomb, whether it's TSU, MTSU, University of Memphis. We have to reach back. So we have to cultivate people. And it's not a one-time thing. And we also have to realize people are at different stages in their lives. So at one point, I'm raising children. So funds were not readily accessible to be able to donate. Mm-hmm. But because you kept continuing to engage me, because you kept reaching out to me, that's in the back of my head. When I do better, I will do better by the institution. And that's what we want the alums to understand. And I often say this, not to be a little smart mouth, but one thing we know, the institution has not relocated. Mm. So you know where the institution is. Right. And so, yes, you all went to school, you did the work, but if it was not for that institution that accepted you, you wouldn't have that degree on your wall right now.
Wow.
So those are the things we need alumni to look back and think about. And so we also have friends who may have had relatives to go to the institutions. We need that support. So support can come from different people and can come from different avenues. Okay. But you all have to know what those avenues are, which means we need to do a better job of communicating and working with the alumni and the community.
So basically, do you have a big team that works with you, or you do a lot of this by yourself? How does that work?
Oftentimes, the HBCUs, they have a smaller staff.
Okay.
When you think of somebody, and I'll just throw the school out here, University of Michigan, even the University of Tennessee, they have a tremendous team that can go out and meet with the alumni. And oftentimes, the HBCUs or the smaller schools, the staff is smaller. Okay. So you have to work together. And that's why we have to partner with people within the community as well.
That's wild, because I'm not, when I think about, HBCU versus a school like a Tennessee or Michigan State, I know that the HBCUs don't do well with contributing and giving them back. And that's something that I want to hit on. What are some of the things that you can do, or what has been done to actually get us to understand how important it is for us to give back? Because I hear you saying that you got a smaller team and there's some of the things that you do, but what's some of the areas that you tap into or that we can go and use to try to talk to other people? Because I want our HBCUs to keep going. I don't want them to decease or stop. I want them to be able to thrive as well as, a Michigan State or anything else. So give us some tips, some tools, some things that we can actually do, ourselves to help with that in that area.
Okay. One of the first things you could do is go to your institution's website, click the give button, see what areas you're interested in, see how much you would like to start off giving. We love for people to give us $2 or $3 million at a time, but people may not be at that level. So start where you are and start the initial funding. If you think about going to Starbucks 5 days a week, $6 a day, how much is that? Then calculate that for 4 weeks. If you go at least 2 or 3 days a week without your Starbucks and say, hey, this is going to be part of my contribution, my monthly contribution. So you save that week, those 4 weeks, then you can send in your donation monthly. You can do payroll deduction. There are a lot of different ways that you can support the institution. So let's think starting from the bottom to the top. I think that's a song that comes out like that. But see where you are and how much you would like to give. But every dollar counts. No gift is too small.
Okay.
Because all those gifts add up to a larger gift. So the alumni chapters are extremely important. Why? Because they're the base of the institution. They're the foundation. And so they've gone out in the world and they've made all these different connections. Introduce your school. Talk about your school. Let them know, hey, I'm here because of TSU, Lipscomb, Trevecca, University of Memphis. And you're giving kudos back to the school. And that's also, you can help with recruiting more students to want to come to your school. Tell them about your experience that you had. That helps with recruitment. So when you look at state institutions that are partially publicly funded, it's not all funding. We have to bring in additional funds. And oftentimes alums don't understand that. Just because you're a state school does not mean the state takes care of every single entity that is needed. We still need the alumni. Friends are another group of people who have not graduated from TSU, but they have a love for the mission. And if you have a love for the mission, anybody can be a supporter. TSU has been here since 1912. So we're known more for just agriculture, engineering. My sister graduated in 1975 from the School of Nursing. But if it was not for TSU, she was the first one to go to school on either side of our family. So she led the charge, but it was TSU that helped her to lead this charge. So no, I didn't go to TSU, but TSU allowed us a pathway, and I'm one of 8. I'm the baby of 8 to come out of sharecropping.
Yeah. I'm gonna throw a joke in there real quick. I'm gonna give some money to TSU because that's how I met my wife.
That's right. In our freshman year.
And a man who finds us a wife finds us a good thing.
So that part right there, I might go.
I met him in orientation at TSU.
Yes. And we've had several family members that actually went to TSU as well. So I think that'll be a place that we probably start giving first. I understand that my son did go to Memphis, but I want to start giving back. So do you all have different events, or what's some of the things that you all do outside of connecting on the phone, email? Do you do different events?
Yes, we have different events, and we also travel to visit with alumni, which working with the chapters, they may have events, and then they will charge a certain cost for the tickets, to be able to attend the event. But let's remember, those are for the events because there are expenses to carry out an event. So exactly. I'll put it to you this way. There's not anything that can curtail you actually giving directly back to the institution.
So that means going to hit that give button and going in that direction to get it and get it that way. Yes. I like that. Okay. So do you have an event that's coming up soon?
We actually have several that are on the books that are by the chapters. We'll be traveling to different cities to meet with alums, to share the vision of the president and what some of the priorities are of the institution. So we're busy on all fronts. Even with the athletic department, they have their events. Come out to the games, support the activities that are going on campus. I may not can make every event, but for me, I found it to be really important to purchase season tickets. So even if I can't go to the game, someone else can experience that. Okay. So there are so many levels to be involved. You just have to pick up the phone, send us an email, come to the campus, and let us know how you want to be involved.
So, Gloria, you're saying if you were, let's say, interested in athletics, so you can say, hey, I want my contributions to go to the athletics. Maybe I want my contributions to go to
the engineering department.
Yeah, the different departments, or even how about kids that can't afford their books? Is there something out there where you can give that maybe it's a scholarship? So all that entails when you give to the school, and then they just actually distribute the money to the students, correct? However the college needs.
So this is how it works as far as gifts. The donor decides how they want their funds allocated. And when they say, I would like for my funds to go to the School of Nursing, that's where your funds will go. Okay. If you say you want your funds to go to the School of Engineering, that's where your funds will go. If you would like to set up an endowed scholarship, you can set up a criteria to select candidates for your scholarship. But we also want to be clear. You don't ever want to make the criteria so stringent that the scholarship cannot be awarded. So it starts at a minimum of $25,000 to start an endowed scholarship. Once that amount is reached, then those funds are then moved to escrow. They have to stay in escrow a minimum of 18 months. And then at that point, the residuals are awarded to the scholarship recipients. So no, you can't say, I'm going to give my donation and I want it to go to Chandra. You can't do that. But what you can do is set the criteria to say, I would want this to go to a student who's from Nashville, Tennessee, or from Memphis, Tennessee. And, you can tie a GPA to it. You can say 2.5, 3.0, 3.5, or you can say someone in the engineering school. So a donor has actually a lot of area to cover and be able to decide what student or what type of student they would want to be a scholarship applicant.
Okay.
That's good stuff.
Yeah, because I've never thought about it in that aspect. I think when we did Theo's, I just put general because I'm like, whatever the school, whatever department is needed the most. And so I think that's what I checked on mine. I didn't specifically say engineering,
And let's touch on that for a minute, Monica. Unrestricted funds are crucial to the bottom line for the institution, because when you say unrestricted, that means the funds can be deemed as the institution deems necessary. So whatever priorities those are, yes, those funds can actually be applied to that. So unrestricted is very important, and then you have restricted. So.
Yeah, and I mean, they used to call me on the phone. I mean, they kept in touch, as well as sending material through the mail. Like I said, so yeah, I understand now.
So with where the world is going, you all, we understand that education is going to be more expensive. It's going to be harder for certain ethnicities to be able to get into schools now, and I really do they have a ethnicity on there too as well, where we can choose what ethnicity we want to choose as well?
So let's talk about that. When you're in a state institution, you don't want to necessarily say, I prefer that this ethnicity have a scholarship, because it's almost doing the opposite of what we didn't want done to us.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Okay.
So you want to be very careful with that, and just be honest, because your goal is really to assist students.
Right.
So when you think about that, you think about socioeconomic challenges. You think about underprivileged children.
Yeah.
You think about maybe certain cities where students are having a challenging time. So you can look at those type of things, but you don't ever want to be so restrictive or even appear to be discriminating. Because at the end of the day, they all are children. Well, I shouldn't say children, but young adults.
Young adults. Yeah. But,
So, Gloria, real quick. So, do you think the alumni is dwindling down? Meaning, because this day and age, I know it's sad to say, but it's like that's not important to us. Where the ones like you go to the homecomings, you see the alumni, they are older people, and then these younger generations, I don't think that's important to them. So, do you see that pool of alumni getting smaller and smaller?
Interesting enough, as the increase of classes come in, is actually creating a larger pool, because when you see the more senior alums, the classes were smaller. But see, in today's time, the classes are actually larger. And that shift may be, what have we done to engage them? So, we as an institution, no matter which institution it is, you got to put some skin in the game and get in with the young people, because the young people are the future generation.
Correct.
Right.
So we need to cultivate and help build that relationship with them now to get them to come out. And then we also have to look, maybe some of the things we're doing may be a little outdated. We got to up the ante for us to do things that are drawing and attractive to them.
Yes.
So we have to be versatile with the activities that are being offered to the alums to make sure we have a place for everyone.
So what's some of the ways to actually up the ante to get younger people to come aboard?
Okay. I'll just say, if you think about the way reunions may be set up, so have activities that are different for the younger people.
Okay.
Have networking opportunities, have seminars that would be relevant to them, mental health, money management, financial management.
Okay.
A lot of those things will help them get started, because when you think about networking, to have the opportunity to be able to meet, and I'm just going to say, Mr. Gray, or, you have the opportunity to meet an alum that, for me, I was a biology major, to see the periodic chart change, to add another element to that, So you got to bring in the younger alum to be able to interact with the other ones. So you have to have a draw, and you got to realize we can't keep doing the same thing over and over again.
Yes.
If you do, you're going to get the same results.
And you look like you got
I just want to ask you something. So, would you say homecoming is the biggest event that maybe you can get more alums? I mean, to contribute really to have something there to say, hey, we need you all to give back to the college, since that's the biggest activity.
Well, there's another activity that we're implementing, and it's called Reunion.
Okay.
Reunion is where we concentrate each year on a certain set of classes. So this year is 0s and 5s. So anyone who graduated in a class that ends in 0s and 5, this is your reunion year. And we're calling it Reunion 2025. And we're inviting everybody to come back to help celebrate during the week of May 1st through the 4th. We're going to have activities on campus. We're going to have activity at the W Hotel, which is the host hotel. And we're going to have different events that will accommodate all different ages for the alums. So not only will we have homecoming in October, but we're going to have reunion in May. So it's something for everyone to come in.
Okay. Okay.
So that's Reunion 2025, May 1st through the 4th.
That's good.
Come on out, because we need participation.
That is awesome, Gloria. I mean, this is a very, very great topic. Me and you had a conversation about this, and this kind of correlates to tithing at the church.
Yes, Lord.
Okay. And as much as we support the schools and everything, we have to do something different in our churches as well, because it's a lot of churches out here where people don't understand that your contribution is what helps keep the church going as well. And I'm throwing that in there with y'all because, like you just said, the younger people, we got to do something different, Monica. I don't know what it's going to be, Gloria. I don't know what it's going to be in the churches as well, because I feel like the church institution actually has to have the support that it needs as well, not to take it and use it, abruptly, or don't do what you're supposed to do with it. But I feel like the church is the one of the strongest institutions that's going to be able to help us going forth into this new age and this new world. So how would you say that these things coincide together, or what's your thoughts about that, Gloria?
Well, so here it is. God is always the foundation.
Absolutely.
It was here before the world was formed.
Absolutely.
It's the beginning and the end. So out of any and everything that we do, God should always be first. And we should take care of the storehouse first.
Absolutely.
So let's think about the church like you think about your house. So you live in a house, all of a sudden you need repairs. Well, if you don't do the repairs, then what's going to happen to the house?
It will fall.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's use our health. If we don't take care of our bodies, then what's going to happen? If we don't invest, it's going to fall apart. The church is essential, especially in these days and times.
Yeah.
And if COVID didn't teach us anything else, it taught us that we need to wake up and we need to realize that we need to continue to advance our opportunities to have a relationship with God. Because if you look at people who the churches that had not invested in technology, so how were they going to worship with their members?
Right.
When they were shut in. So advancement also comes with the church. And if you want to advance, to be able to help support the members of your congregation, to help to be able to support the community, and to be able to carry the gospel, you got to invest in the church.
Absolutely.
Tithing, having programs, having benevolence programs, all those things are essential.
And I definitely look like you.
No, I was listening.
I had to throw that in there, y'all, because when I think about alumni and I think about alumni at the church, I'm gonna use that word. Mm-hmm. We're failing. Certain churches I know, they're doing a great job and they're thriving in the certain things that they're able to do. They're actually able to help colleges, because I know of one church institution that gives away thousands and thousands of dollars to college students every year. Mm-hmm. And that's something, and I'm throwing that thing in there, that curveball in there, because we should, as the church, should be able to give scholarships. Mm-hmm. We should be able to give to the community, the college communities and everything. So we got to figure out some things, y'all, that's going to bring the resources into the church house as well as for the colleges as well. I definitely agree. But we have to, because when you said that thing, we got to do something different. And that's what hit me. We cannot continue with what we're doing now. Some of the churches, what we're doing now, because some of the churches, it's just go to church, that's it. You don't have no community thing. Mm-hmm, you don't have no resources outside of the church. We don't have any business career fairs. Mm-hmm. I think that should be something that should be done in church, because if you help other businesses, increase within the body, that can be resources that will be given back from that particular business. So I just, had to throw it in there because
you don't have to throw it in there. It's actually the cornerstone.
Absolutely.
It is the cornerstone.
Absolutely.
It is the foundation. And that's something that we need to think about. We have to purposefully plan to do this. We need to sit down and we need to look at our budget.
Yeah.
We need to see what's coming in. We need to see what's necessary. We're not saying you don't have to starve, you can't do anything, you can't live your life. But look at how God has allowed you to be able to have this type of lifestyle. So giving back should be automatic, because you can never outgive God. You can never give too much.
Absolutely
But
not.
as you're blessed, then you should bless other people. There are so many opportunities to give. You have mission work. You have things going on right there in the community. You have your widowers, your widows, all these people that may need. You have foster homes, all these different places that you can invest in. But you start at your church and see what those programs are that's set up at your church.
Right.
You evaluate those programs to see how they are progressing. And if they are not being fruitful, then you evaluate to say, hey, what can we do different? Or maybe we need to put a different twist on this. Or maybe we need to look at a different program. But, in order for fruit to grow, the vine has to be nourished.
Absolutely.
You have to go deep with the roots to get the nutrients and the water that's needed. So you got to invest. And really, investment should start at the church.
At the church first. I agree with you.
And it comes with the members. I know we are very happy at where we are now, which is Tabernacle. So we don't mind giving, because for me it trickles for the head down. We know that we have a good trustee board. We know that our pastors seeking other avenues. Where there's no excuse where at our church you shouldn't contribute, because we even have a little house where you can donate your
Old
clothes and just different things, and then that company gives the church a small portion of money. I always say some money better than no money, and it can add up. But a lot of the community people has been bringing their stuff there, and so I just don't understand, because I'm happy. I mean, anytime I put something, I have a little room now, I keep it in. I was like, oh, this is going to the church, because I'm eager about trying my best to help any way I can. And even tonight, when you educate us about the alumni, like you say, this depends on what goes on in your life. But we're gonna sit down and say, well, hey, we need to start giving TSU some money like we used to give, to my son's school, and maybe we can do both. I don't know. But like you say, look at your budget, see what you can do, because we go out to eat all the time. We'll spend $100 on a meal. Easy. And so it's my other thing I always tell my husband, what's important to you? Because if it's important, you're going to contribute your money. But if it's not, to me, you're going to waste it. And I think we do a lot of wasting where we could be helping others. You know what I'm saying?
My New Year's resolution is to be more intentional and effective. So whatever I'm doing, I'm going to be intentional about it, and it's going to be effective. If it's not being effective, I'm going to have to reevaluate that thing and then move on to something else. And that applies to every part of my life. But I have been blessed all my life. And I know who God is and what he has done. And that's what we need all Christians to realize, is stand on that faith. And when you believe in that faith, you're going to support that. And that means you're going to support the church. And there needs to be transparency on how the funds are being spent. I mean, you have elders who are supposed to be the overseers of the flock. So have open transparency.
Yes.
Have Vision Sunday. Talk about what needs to be done for the church, for the community. Because, see, really, church is outside of the four walls. Evangelism is outside of the four walls. So when you're talking about spreading the gospel, it's outside the church. You got to go get the people.
And that goes into what I was going to say real quick. And it's not always money at the church.
Exactly.
Okay. One thing you have to understand is that we have to do better with participating in different things. Join a board, do something. Don't just come to church to sit there and suck up the air, and you don't figure out what place can you put some input in, because we are one body, one fitly joined together. So when you come to a local church or anything, you all try to come with the expectation of, I'm coming to give from my spirit man, my financial man, from my physical man. It's so many things that can be done, and it's not just throw any shade or anything at someone, but when you join a community or join a church, you all, I said this Sunday, and I pray that everyone understands this. The church is going to be needed so much going into these next, I say 10 to 15 years of our life, y'all. The church, if we don't step up our game, and I'm glad that we went from the alumni situation in colleges and went to this direction, because you all, we're gonna need each other. We're in a place to where we're isolating just in life, period. So the church is going to be the ground where people are going to come together, be able to heal, be able to do things, and then be able to be be bigger for just like the colleges and everything I just said. But come with expectations to do something. Don't just come to church and you don't have to just give your money. And I'm saying give your money, but I feel like
give of yourself, of your talent, because God has given all us a talent.
Yes.
We may do different things. I can't sing a lick, but hey, I'm gonna be there to show up and throw my Noah's voice on in there. But He gave me other abilities, organization, relationships, different things. So allow God to use you, because He gave you a talent.
Yes. So go ahead.
I'm gonna say real quick. I know a lot of people don't want to give because they think the pastors are getting the money. But my thing is, how do you think the lights are? The lights got to be on. The water. Our church is good for handing out bottled water. All this stuff costs. It's not free. Like I tell my kids all the time, nothing is free.
Nothing. Everything
costs. It's got to have an alarm system. The pastor got to be paid. Someone's got to clean the building, So it's so many people don't want to give because, first of all, to me, their intentions aren't right. Because I'm like, as long as I put my money, I'm obeying the word first, which is to bring your tithes and offering to the storehouse. What they do with it is still on, it falls back on them. So all you got to do is give and just be obedient to God. Don't worry about, but like you said, like our church, we had a meeting 2 Sundays ago, and they explained everything about the money. And so we, I'm happy to know, where the money is going. So I guess if more churches did that, maybe more people will be willing to give. But to me, it's a heart thing, because I love the Lord all my heart. And I know sometimes you fall into a little pickle and you're like, well, if I pay my tithes, I ain't gonna pay my bills. God is gonna provide.
Yes, He will.
You just don't know, because He's always working. As my husband, I always tell him, He's working behind the scenes and we don't even know what He's doing.
And see, think about this too. That may be an opportunity to reflect and say, hey, we might need to reevaluate what we're doing over here. And then we can use these funds where we won't necessarily be in a pickle or a situation. So God kind of, I feel like, warns us about things. So when funds are getting tight, step back, reevaluate, what we're doing. Instead of going out 2 or 3 days a week, maybe cut that down to a Sunday lunch.
Right.
That's how we do.
So there's so many areas that we can reflect on. And I'm not a know-it-all. I'm just trying to tell you about some things that have helped me to be able to move on in my life. But I know when you give to God, you will be blessed.
You can't be His giving. Yes, ma'am.
And you will be blessed.
So like I was saying, Gloria, this time goes by fast. It's one of the topics I want to talk about before we get off this air tonight. We was talking about wills and different things, estates and what. Let's hit that real quick before we jump off this air real quick, and I want you to give your expertise on it, because we haven't made our will yet. We talked to one of our good friends, Troy Smith, and he talked to us about that as well. So give us your expertise on the will situation and making sure that you have a will before you leave this earth.
Okay. So first of all, start making your plans right now, because tomorrow is not promised to you. Everyone needs to have a will to designate how you want whatever material things, whatever funding you may have, how you want those allocated. Do you want to make the decision, or do you want the government to make the decision? Or do you want to have your children fighting over something they didn't earn? No.
Wow.
That's why wills are so important. And you change your will upon any major changes in your life. Illness, having a new baby, moving to a larger home, any type of major change. That's when you go and you reevaluate your will to make sure everything is in place. For me, I reevaluate my will every year. When my children were smaller, and I was traveling, I had two executives, my brother and sister, who were older because my children were, minors. But I had it all laid out, what I wanted everyone to have and how I wanted things to go with the house. So you want to look at wills. You want to look at trust. And let me put this disclaimer out here. I am not a financial advisor, nor an accountant or a lawyer, nor do I play one on TV or on the radio. But this is just general knowledge that you need to have a will. Look into trust. A trust may be more beneficial for you and your family. So talk to a financial advisor to see what is the best plan for you, because you want to be the one to make the decision, not the government.
Right.
That's good stuff. And we keep on saying we're going to do this. We keep saying we're going to do this.
Yeah, he even gave us a little scare. We still ain't got to it yet.
Right. And one thing that just interests me, you said that you reevaluate yours every year.
And I would reevaluate my will because I could be on a plane anywhere. I travel a lot for work. I need to make sure that everything is okay when I walk out that door.
Yeah.
I don't want my siblings to have to say, well, Gloria didn't say she wanted this. Or my children say, well, that's not what Mama said. Here's the paper right here. Here's what Mama said, and here's what's going to occur.
So you pretty much do line by line everything you
I'm like,
did.
is it everything? Your furniture? I know you're probably your jewelry.
My 401k, my insurance. And, you all need to have insurance. You can pass that on down to your children. It's not a tax issue because it's insurance money. So that's a good way. You look at your stocks. If you're more seasoned, you look at your 401k plans, your retirement plans, your IRA plans, and decide how you want all of that to go. And, charity is another way to give also. In addition to your children, you can leave funds to your church, leave funds to your university. And I do want to back up and say one thing about how to fund whatever gift you're giving. It's not always cash. You can use stock. You can use donor advised funds. You can use your IRAs if you're of a certain age. So there are other ways, if you want to hold on to your cash, that you can make donations as well. You can make those donations like that to your church also.
Okay.
And that was a good one right there.
So,
I don't know. I could leave my church a little bit of the 401k.
Yeah, because that's a charity.
Okay.
It's a nonprofit.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's some good stuff right there, girl. You got anything else you want to ask? Because I told y'all this night.
I was going to be real fun. I'll say all the ones that hadn't gave all their life, won't you leave your 401 to your church or something?
It's never too late to give.
Right, it's never too late to give.
Never too late to give.
What about life insurance though?
Yes, life
you can
insurance,
leave those as
yes.
well?
You can, as a beneficiary, yes.
Wow.
So we as a people, we say we woke, but we need to be woker on avenues to be able to give.
That's
I like that.
You struck a nerve right there, girl. Hey, we're gonna have to, but we will. And Monica, this is something that we're gonna start soon. I'm talking about tomorrow.
Look, I just want to say, I'm looking at my watch. I can send you some people, and I'll just throw this out here. There is one thing that you can do. You can pretty much visit any university website and look up planned giving, and you can download a will that'll walk you through everything you want to put in there, give you all the questions, and then you can go have it notarized. Once again, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a financial planner or an accountant.
So I'm over here looking at my engineer right now, y'all, and just nod your head, bro. Have you set up your wheel yet? See, y'all, she said something very important. We got to wake up, you all. We have to wake up because, like you said, Monica, what would you have done? I mean, I know you would have did right by everything and allocated everything that need to go here or there, but what if it would have happened? And then, car wreck, anything. We have to wake up now, y'all. So I'm glad we got that in there. So, Gloria, I want you to give us you got anything you want to say real quick?
No, that's it.
Gloria, I want you to give us a great conclusion tonight or ending on tonight, because I told you this time goes by fast. Okay, I told you that. So give us a great exit out of things that we can do. Again, anything you want to say that can help pertaining to giving to the alumni, giving to the church, or the wheel situation. Any conclusion you want to give, and then we'll end the night after that.
For tomorrow is not promised. The next second is not promised. But make sure you leave a legacy for those that you care about, your children, your church, your institution, your university, or another charity of your heart. But you need to do this now.
Yeah.
And not wait.
That's good. That's good. Monica, you got anything you want to say before we get out there?
I did owe Gloria. We got some work to do.
We got a lot of work to do, y'all. Like she just said, you all, you don't have time to waste. And I was woken up to that. You don't. We want to say we love you all, and I hope you all heard what was said. We pray that if you are a graduate of any school, we're not just using HBCUs, but any institution, that you try your best to try to give back to that. Definitely want to give to the Cornerstone, which is our churches, you all. We always want to put God first, y'all. I've been giving that thing for a long time. I'm talking about giving, and I'm not gonna stop. And one thing I must say to you all, by giving to the church, and it's not in the Bible that says that God is gonna love you any more, any less because you are a tither. There's nothing in the word that says that. But God asked this question: will you rob him, or do you trust him? And the reason why I give you all is because I know that by me being able to trust the Father who gives to me, I can give back to the church. I can do what I need to do to help. And one thing I can say, y'all, that this thing has blessed my life. I have not went without bread, water, food, nothing. Lights have not been cut off. And I don't, say that because of me tithing. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, God, you cannot beat his giving. And when you give to certain things, certain institutions, he said, be a cheerful giver. Don't give with a grudgingly heart or give expecting. And that's one thing that I think that I'm not going to say that a lot of people do, but I think some people's mentality is, I'm wanting something in return. So we're going to leave it at that. I pray that you all understand what giving will do for you in every institution in your life. It doesn't take money all the time. Gloria said that you can come and be a mentor. You can be a mentor at church as well. You can invite someone to church. It's so many people that's still doing bedside Baptist, and I try my best to invite someone every time I get a chance to come into the house of the Lord. So many things we can do, Gloria. We appreciate you tonight. We will be getting this wheel taken care of. You're the second guest we had that talked about that wheel.
Okay.
So we're gonna jump on in there and get it done. Great show tonight, Monica.
Yes.
Don't you agree? You agree?
Yes.
Gloria, thank you again. We love you. I want to definitely, Shantae, I want to talk to her because I know she has an organization that we want to talk about as well.
Yes, that's really crucial, dealing with Medicare plans and helping seniors. Seniors have always been her passion, and there are just so many questions about what plans are the best for each individual, well, she can come meet with you as a group, church group, and she will do individual consulting as well.
Okay.
So we come with some great stuff out here, y'all. Hope y'all enjoyed the show tonight. Y'all have been listening to WFTB 104.1 FM Tabernacle Radio. Y'all, we love you all. Y'all have a blessed night. Be blessed. I told y'all it was going to be a good conversation, sacrificial conversations. Did you subscribe yet? Hit that like button. You might get something that's going to help your life. Y'all be blessed.